Hey nurses, Nurse Germs here. Welcome back to my channel. So time check, it's past midnight and I just got home from my 2 to 10 p.m. shift. Haven't moved on yet from what happened in the morning because one patient who is so dear to our hearts died. Then comes afternoon shift, another patient died. Plus in between, we had to greet a birthday celebrant who is also our patient as if nothing happened. So today has just been totally and emotionally draining. That's why I'm creating this video, so to lighten up my mood. And I'll be talking about death in hemodialysis unit. Okay, so first things off, death in the hemodialysis unit is incomparable to those that happen in the emergency department, intensive care unit, wards department, because we're not just pertaining to patients, the typical ones, the walk-ins, the weeks-old patient, the months-old patient. In the hemodialysis unit, we have our own regular patients who've turned into friends and families because they've been there with us for years, celebrating holidays together, the Christmas, their birthdays, and other special occasions. So just imagine the pain that we go through every time death happens in the unit. And actually during my shift, while I was in the middle of applying pressure dressing on my patient, I didn't even notice that I was already staring blankly, numb and still shocked of what happened. And it was only until my patient snapped me back to reality when I realized that I was already applying pressure for too long. So talking about the remaining patients, of course we shouldn't also forget them, because if we are able to develop a bond with our patients, then the bond between them, the patient to patient relationship, is even greater, because of course who else can relate to them and understand their condition but only themselves. And it was really touching to know that the night before we texted the morning shift patients and asked them if one of them is willing to switch slots for the patient, and we got 2 yeses for that, which is really rare to happen. And when third shift came, I was handling the patient who agreed with the swap, and at the back of the mind I was curious if he was already aware of what happened, and what he did was really a big thing and a big help. But it doesn't end there, because for the next days some patients would soon start noticing as to why they can't seem to see this particular patient, and they ask you as to where they are. And for questions like this, you have to be careful with the kind of words you use, because although death is inevitable, it's still a sensitive topic for most people. And their questions doesn't even limit it to that, because this time around they would then question about theirs. And one time I was asked, how long should she expect for her death, or how many years should she survive? And I just paused, because as a hemodialysis nurse, you know that despite of the quality care you give them, you know that sooner or later that day would finally arrive. So I just answered, only God can tell. And the most important thing is that you get to live with your family and friends. And what's even the hardest is that when you were just about to start your shift, you use the staircase while heading to the unit, and then a stainless steel bed with a cadaver bag on it welcomes you. And then you scan the surroundings, you saw a familiar face, and it was the patient's watcher. As much as you want to give everything to support them and comfort them, a pat on the back is the only thing you could do, because as nurses we try to be brave for them. One time when we visited our patient's wake, all their family members were there, and then their daughter came to us and talking specifically to me, telling me that her mother can't stop talking about me because I'm the one that she can't forget, because I was the first nurse who handled him first in the unit. And up to now, that still kept me speechless. I mean, I didn't even know that I was already touching others' lives. And these are the moments that make us strong and kept us survive despite the workload that we have in the unit. If only we have time to grieve, but we can't, because we have to go back to our remaining patients who are also waiting for care and service. That even if it was just yesterday when one patient died, we have to put our smiles back again. And the worst case scenario just happened when we had 2 deaths and a birthday celebrant all in the same day. And this is how we roll, the part we say that the death of a patient is the harsh reality of nursing.